You've found it. The corner of the internet where logic breaks down and the unthinkable starts making sense. I'm Jack, and I track what most ignore: anomalies, secrets, things buried in plain sight. Every case here has one thing in common. It shouldn't exist, but somehow it does. And tonight's file, it rewrites everything. Don't just watch. Pay attention, because reality is about to glitch. Okay, everyone, find a moment to think about the ocean. Its vastness, its power, its unknown depths. For all our exploration, the deep sea remains the Earth's last great frontier, a realm of crushing pressure, absolute darkness, and life forms, stranger than science fiction. We send probes, submersibles, hydrophones to listen to its silent alien world. But what if something down there was listening back? What if a voice rose from the deepest point on Earth, speaking a language long dead, carrying a chilling message? We're talking about the voice under the ocean, a deep sea mystery, and the terrifying echo of a message sent across millennia. The Mariana Trench. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, it is the deepest oceanic trench on Earth, plunging to a depth of over 10,194 meters, 36,070 feet. The pressure down there is immense, over 1,000 times atmospheric pressure at sea level. Sunlight does not penetrate, leaving it in perpetual darkness. It is a place of profound alienness, inhabited by life forms adapted to conditions that would instantly crush a human. In 2014, a research expedition was deploying advanced hydrophones, sensitive underwater microphones designed to withstand the crushing pressure and record ambient sounds in the deepest parts of the trench. They were listening for seismic activity, for the sounds of deep-sea creatures, for the hum of the planet. What they recorded was none of these. Amongst the expected sounds of geological shifts and the clicks and calls of unknown abyssal life, their hydrophones picked up a distinct anomalous signal. It lasted exactly 17 seconds. The initial analysis immediately flagged it as unusual. Its acoustic properties didn't match any known biological sounds from creatures adapted to that depth. It wasn't mechanical, no sign of submersibles or equipment. It wasn't geological. Seismic activity or hydrothermal vents registered differently. The signal was unique, baffling, and unsettlingly, to the initial analysts, it sounded vaguely like a voice, a human voice. Low, distorted by pressure and depth, but undeniably chillingly like someone whispering. The sound recording was brought to the attention of specialists in acoustics, zoology, and unknown phenomena. Our network. Dr. Anya Sharma, analyzing the signal's properties and potential biological source. Ben Carter, processing the raw audio data. Professor Dmitry Volkov, his expertise in languages, especially dead ones, crucial. They isolated the 17-second signal, removing background noise, amplifying it. It became clearer, but no less mysterious. It had a cadence, a tonal structure that resembled human vocalization, but originating from a depth where no air-breathing human could ever survive, even with advanced technology. Professor Volkov, intrigued by the whispering quality, began a detailed linguistic analysis, treating the sound as if it were speech. He broke down the complex waveform into phonetic components, mapping the subtle shifts in tone and frequency. Comparing the phonetic structure to databases of all known human languages, living and dead, was a monumental task. Initial searches yielded only weak correlations. But as the analysis became more refined, focusing on older language families, a pattern began to emerge. The phonetic structure of the whisper from the Mariana Trench was closest to an ancient language family that had long since vanished from the earth. Further refinement led to a chilling, specific conclusion. The phonetic structure of the signal was most consistent with ancient Hittite, an Indo-European language spoken in Anatolia, modern Turkey, over 3,000 years ago, which had become extinct around 1200 BC. This was Xenolinguistics, an unknown source speaking a dead human language. The mystery deepened into profound unease. How was a language extinct for over 3 millennia being spoken at the deepest point on Earth by an unknown source? Was it a forgotten human civilization living in the abyss, though the pressure makes this seem impossible? A creature that could somehow mimic human speech, drawing from some deep-seated collective memory, though how it would know ancient Hittite was inexplicable. Or something else entirely. Researchers, including Ben Carter and Dr. Sharma, continued to manipulate the signal, trying to extract more information. They attempted to filter out potential distortions caused by pressure or the medium through which the sound traveled. One approach was to try altering the speed of the audio, hypothesizing that the low frequency might be related to the immense pressure or the scale of the speaker. Ben Carter, running various algorithms, tried speeding up the audio signal. When he increased the playback speed by a factor of 10, the low, distorted whisper coalesced into clear, discernible words. The chilling message, spoken from over 10,000 meters beneath the waves, was revealed. It was a short, simple phrase, repeated several times within the 17-second signal. The message, translated from the phonetic structure resembling ancient Hittite, was, "We are still down here, stop calling." A direct, chilling warning. Who is we? Was it a collective? A species? An entity? What did still down here mean? Simply in the trench? Deep within the Earth's crust beneath the ocean? What was the calling? Who was doing the calling? And why did they want it to stop? This confirmed the presence of intelligent life, ancient and potentially a form of echoes of a forgotten species or entity existing in the deepest, most inaccessible parts of the planet. The revelation of the message spurred parallel investigations into the history of the Hittite language and the region where it was spoken. Professor Volkov and historical researchers, Dr. Lena Petrova, contributing expertise on ancient sites, scoured ancient texts, archaeological records, and myths from Anatolia and the Near East, searching for any mention of voices from the deep abyssal entities or messages similar to the one received. They focused on the Cappadocia region, known for its unique fairy chimney geological formations and ancient underground settlements, a place with a rich history of human civilization built upon vast subterranean structures. The horrifying twist came from a discovery in Cappadocia. An archaeological team, excavating an ancient site or exploring a previously uncatalogued cave system, found a stone inscription, a stele or perhaps a carving on a cavern wall, dating back over 2,500 years, to a period roughly 500 years after the Hittite language died out, but still within the cultural memory of the region. Linguists were brought in to translate the inscription. The text, written in a script contemporary to the time, contained a passage that sent chills down the spines of the Anomaly researchers. The passage was identical to the chilling message received from the Mariana Trench over 2.5 millennia. Later, "We are still down here, stop calling." The twist. A stone inscription found in Cappadocia dating back over 2,500 years contains text identical to the message, "We are still down here, stop calling." Decoded from the 2014 sound recording from the Mariana Trench, establishing an ancient communication link and an ongoing calling phenomenon spanning millennia. The implication was staggering and reshaped the entire anomaly. The intelligent entities in the deepest part of the Mariana Trench had communicated with humans thousands of years ago, delivering the same chilling message. The Cappadocia inscription was not a strange coincidence. It was a historical record of this ancient communication, a warning preserved in stone for millennia. The message "Stop Calling" wasn't just directed at the 2014 hydrophone deployment. It implied that someone or something has been attempting to contact or interact with the entities in the trench periodically for thousands of years. Who has been calling them throughout history? Was it ancient rituals, specific energy emissions from the surface, or something else entirely? And why has this calling continued, prompting the same response across millennia? The entity's nature became clearer. They are ancient, intelligent, capable of communication across immense pressure and possibly across vast distances. They are terrestrial, linked to deep earth or the abyssal ocean. They used forms of human language or a shared proto-language thousands of years ago, suggesting a terrifyingly long history of interaction or observation. They remember the calling across millennia. The purpose of the message is a clear, consistent warning or plea. They want to be left alone. The calling is perceived as an intrusion, a disturbance, or perhaps a threat to their existence or their realm. The inscription is a warning from the past, a desperate plea from the deep preserved in stone, telling future generations about the entities and their desire for isolation. The temporal paradox of the message being identical across millennia is deeply unsettling, implying that the entities are unchanging, or that the message is somehow being broadcast across time from a single source event in the deep past, repeating itself whenever triggered by the calling. Who is calling? Is it modern deep-sea exploration technology? Is it related to other anomalies tied to sound, geology, or ancient entities, linking to the Earth entity, the voice, the unknowing, the abyssal, if it exists? Is it something inherent to human presence or activity on the surface? Is it something buried deep within the Earth, perhaps the same force or entity that is also down here with them? The Magnus Archives horror was elemental, linguistic, and historical. The profound terror of the deep sea, its crushing pressure, darkness, and unknowable intelligent life. The vast, the buried, the unsettling whispered voice from the absolute abyss, the chilling content of the message spoken in an ancient extinct human language, the voice, the unknowing, the lost. The ancient historical horror of the link to the Hittites and a 2,500-year-old inscription, bringing an ancient buried horror to the present, suggesting a long hidden history of interaction between humanity and abyssal entities. The buried, the time. The existential horror of discovering a forgotten, intelligent species or entity living in impossible conditions deep within the earth, aware of us and warning us away from disturbing them. The lost, the unknowing. The chilling warning message. Stop calling implies we are doing something dangerous or intrusive, perhaps unknowingly, that provokes an ancient intelligence beneath us. The burden, the unknowing. The temporal paradox of the message being identical across millennia is deeply unsettling, implying a fixed point in time or an unchanging entity, message, that defies conventional history, the time, the spiral. The deep-sea mystery revealed a terrifying Xenolinguistics. The echoes of a forgotten species were sending a very clear message. The researchers, Dr. Sharma, Ben Carter, Professor Volkov, Dr. Petrova, and the clandestine team, are left with the horrifying reality of an ancient intelligent entity, or species living in the deepest ocean, one that communicated with humans in antiquity, and is now, millennia later, sending the same message. Stop calling. The investigation continues under intense secrecy. They are attempting to analyze the 2014 recording further for any subtle variations or other hidden messages. Research into the Cappadocia inscription and any other similar historical records or myths from Anatolia and beyond is intensified, searching for any clues about the calling or the nature of the entities. Attempts are being made to understand who or what has been calling the deep-sea entities throughout history and in the present. Is it a natural phenomenon? A geological resonance? A specific human activity? Is it related to other anomalies? involving deep places or ancient energies? The terrifying debate rages within the team. Given the clear warning, should they attempt further contact with the voice in the trench? Sending a message back, what would they say? Or is the warning clear and absolute and contact should cease entirely? What are the risks of not stopping the calling if we don't know what it is? What happens if the entity's patience runs out? The ultimate fear is that the entities might not stay down here, or that the calling will escalate, with unknown, potentially catastrophic consequences for the surface world. The voice under the ocean is real. It is a 17-second sound signal recorded in 2014, over 10,000 meters deep in the Mariana Trench, resembling a human whispering in ancient Hittite which, when sped up 10 times, delivers the message, "We are still down here. Stop calling." The twist reveals an identical message is found on a stone inscription in Cappadocia, dating back over 2,500 years, establishing an ancient communication link and an ongoing millennia-spanning calling phenomenon, provoking a chilling response from the abyss. The Magnus Archives horror remains a chilling undercurrent, amplified by the scale, the history, and the directness of the message. The pervasive sense of dread that comes with knowing an ancient intelligent entity exists beneath us, one that communicated with humans in antiquity, and is now, millennia later, sending the same message. Stop calling. What is the message's full meaning? What is the calling? Who or what is calling them? What happens if the calling doesn't stop? Sleep well, and listen carefully. Listen to the sounds of the ocean. Remember the whisper from the deep. Remember the ancient language. Remember the inscription. Remember the message. We are still down here. Stop calling. Remember that they are still down there. And you have to wonder, what happens when they get tired of being called? What happens when they decide not to stay down here anymore? What happens when they come up here? This story was just a glimpse into the strange realities I explore. There are countless other mysteries out there waiting to be revealed, and I'm dedicated to finding them. But with the kind of topics we cover, sometimes you just can't predict what the future holds. So, to guarantee you're always in the loop, to make sure you catch every unsettling discovery I bring to you, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. Don't risk missing out. You might not get another chance.